everyone! Today we continue the California Mission series. In this video, I will take you to Mission Santa Clara de Assis. Previously, I made a video about Mission Carmel. I will leave the link down below if you are interested. Mission Santa Clara de Assis, number 8 in the California mission chain, was founded on January 12, 1777 by Father Serra. It is located in the city of Santa Clara, California. It was the first mission in the California mission chain to be named after a female saint. Father Serra broke tradition, choosing the first woman to serve as a patron saint, Saint Clare of Assisi. So, who was Saint Clare of Assisi? She was born into a noble family in Duchy of Spoleto, modern-day central Italy. She was expected to marry into wealth and influence. However, at age 18, she heard St. Francis of Assisi preach during Lent. Deeply moved, she chose a life of poverty and devotion to Christ. She secretly left her family home, cut off her hair, and dedicated her life to God under Francis' guidance. She was canonized in 1255, just 2 years after her death, very fast, showing her immense reputation for holiness. Her canonization was based on the following achievements and contributions. First, she founded Poor Clares in 1212, which was a religious order of women committed to poverty, prayer, and service, modeled after St. Francis' ideals, which still exists worldwide today. Secondly, her life of radical poverty and humility. She lived in extreme poverty, refusing possessions, depending entirely on alms, and spending much of her life in prayers and contemplation. And then there were accounts of miracles and her defense of Assisi. In 1240, when Saracen mercenaries attacked Assisi, Clare held up the Blessed Sacrament in a monstrance at the convent wall. The attackers fled, and she was remembered as a protector of her community. Other miracles including she multiplied bread when the convent didn't have enough food to feed everyone. And then the Christmas vision. When she was too ill to attend Christmas Eve Mass at the Basilica of St. Francis in person, she had a vision in her cell where she could both hear and see the entire Mass as if she was there. This miracle is one of the reasons Pope Pius XII declared her the patron saint of television in 1958. And then the healing miracles. Numerous accounts were given of St. Clare healing the sick during her lifetime. Last but not the least, she maintained close connection to St. Francis, complementing his mission with a female counterpart. St. Clare died in 1253. 7 years after her death, St. Clare's body was preserved, and for centuries it was considered incorrupt, which is a sign of holiness in Catholic tradition. However, the state of her remains has changed over time. Although her body was not corrupt for many years, today, almost 800 years after her death, it is no longer in that state. Today, her remains are a skeleton in perfect condition. The visible form of St. Clare in her crypt in the Basilica of Santa Clara is a wax likeness covering her skeletal remains, dressed in the habit of her order, allowing the faithful to venerate her. Mission Santa Clara de Assis is the only California mission that eventually became part of a university. In 1851, Jesuits founded Santa Clara College on the site, which later grew into Santa Clara University, the first institute of higher education in California. Today, most of the original mission complex are gone. Thousands of acres of mission land was secularized in 1830s. Original church building was destroyed due to multiple disasters. One of the very few remnants is the adobe wall. It's likely part of the original adobe mission complex. These remnants were integrated into Santa Clara University very nicely. current church building was 1920s reconstruction. However, it incorporates elements of early mission designs, including statues, artwork, and salvaged artifacts. In 1985, Pope John Paul II designated it a basilica. Today, it serves as the spiritual heart of Santa Clara University. The cross in front of the church, said to have preserved a portion of the original cross at the entrance of the mission. Stone steps held passengers in and out of carriers in the early days of Santa Clara College. Historical bell markers similar to those placed along the El Camino Real. El Camino Real was established during the Spanish colonial era as the route linking California's missions, presidios, and pueblos. It stretched roughly 600 miles from San Diego to Sonoma, following older indigenous trails. While it was never a single paved road, many portions later influenced California's modern highway system. Today, commemorative bell markers along highways trace the historical route of El Camino Real. The orange route in this illustration shows where the historical El Camino Real overlapping California's highways. The statues on the facade of the church are St. Francis, St. Clare, and St. John of the Baptist. Let's go inside the church and take a look. This was how the area looked like when the mission was established. There was a large native population of more than 10,000 people. They are known as Ohlone. They had occupied the South San Francisco Bay Area for thousands of years. These chandeliers are huge. They are very beautiful. I really like the paintings on the ceiling, so colorful and vibrant.